2-on-1. Now, if you're a goalie, you got to trust your defenseman to take the pass away. That's exactly what Mike Fountain did. He focused on Guy LaRose and was able to smother it.
You knew he had Mark Watton covering the pass. Laviolette. His shot goes well.
Engine 4x4.
Around Scott Bailey before he has been patient and held his ground. The Bruins hit the post once early in the game. When they didn't hit the post, Mike Fountain was there. So when you combine the qualities of the goaltenders with the really how hot they are right now, you're going to have a hell of a time scoring goals. And Syracuse got to be pulling their hair out, because if it's not Bailey, it's somebody else, because they called a guy up the problem. Usually he's the guy in the box. He's the second most penalized player in the American League as we speak at 244 minutes, but all he's done tonight has been a disciplined guy trying to draw them.
Other scores around the American League. Albany and Worcester, 2-2 final. Binghamton Adirondack, 2-2 in the third. Rogers, boy, deuces wild on the deuce. Rochester and Cornwall, 2-2. Early in the third.
Here's Danny Lacroix's shot, and he smartly followed up, went right to the net. Watch him come right into Mike Fountain's face, and it forced somebody to do something. Fountain got his stick up. Then Lacroix did a little head fake backwards to try to draw the penalty. Steve Casper has worked with Mark Watton credit because he launched a shot that was deflectable. I mean, he just wanted to get it to the front because he knew that Bahanas was there, and just a slight change of direction that went right between Scott Bailey's legs. And finally, and I mean finally, after over 6 periods of hockey, the Syracuse Crunch has scored a goal against the Providence Bruins. That is how many periods against the Bruins they had played without scoring a goal. But now we've got wide on Von Stefanelli. Watch, he gets a one-hand shot away that bounces back up and off of his shin pad right on to Bailey. Good move by Scott Bailey to stay with this one. And that was another save that Bailey made moments before. Gets up, start yapping at the referee. Well, he went for it. Look at the focus by Bailey. I mean, he stayed focused on the puck the whole way, and that is something that Steve Casper has worked with Scott Bailey on, is staying focused on the puck at all times, never relaxing. And then the handle of Mike Fountain's stick. It hit the handle up above his blocker, and the rebound fell right down to Zoltak from a sharp angle, just really zinged it home. He really buried it. Boy, that was almost on the goal line. What? That's a hell of a goal.
Sergei Zoltak, his 11th goal of the season at 17.
By the blue line. Here's Mike Pekka's blast that just missed, or did it hit the crossbar? Wow. So close. Good play by Pekka.
Big money. Don't forget. Going on there. Now let's look at college hockey. Michigan Tech. Tony Esposito's old school. Matt Herr, Michigan, that's a goal. And then Matt Herr, Michigan, that's a goal. The netminder was absent-minded. Mike Lay.
Wow. So close. Good play by Pekka.
That big money is on forget. That's what's going on there. Now let's look at college hockey. Michigan Tech. Tony Esposito's old school. Matt Herr, Michigan, that's a goal. And then Matt Herr, Michigan, that's a goal. The netminder was absent-minded. Mike Legg, between the legs, 13-0. Michigan's got to win. To NBA now. Lenny Wilkins, 1 win away from.
There's another great one right there. Mike Dunham out of Enwell, New York, Canterbury School, 26-1-1 in his career, all Hockey East first team, backup goaltender in the U.S. Olympic team. He's a great one himself.
9th year of Hockey East, 85 won by Providence, 86 by BU, 87 by BC, 88 by Scotty Meehan. Moves it up for Shane Henry on the left wing. Henry land into Latendresse. Puck comes back to center. Murray shoots it down the right wing. Dunham goes out for a skate, clears the puck up along the boards. Now it goes back behind the net, and Matt Martin will cover up for the number 1 ranked Maine Black Bears. Out they come with Martin. Full steam at center ice. He will dump it back into the Lowell zone. Stopped by Rolison. Laid off for Henry, and here come the Chiefs now back to center. Henry dumping it in with Dan Murphy going back to play it for the Black Bears. Cal Ingraham at center. Taking a bump there from Meehan. This is Travis Tucker, chased by Jim Montgomery back behind the net. Correa watching it go to the corner. Imes pinching to try and keep it in. Ingraham right along the blue line to Montgomery. Montgomery to Correa. Look out! Here's Ingraham, just failing to click. Centering pass broken up by the Chiefs, and Meehan now will dump to center. Montgomery getting it back now for Chris Imes. All Hockey East for Paul Correa. He's all everything. They win the Hobie Baker Award. Across the line is shot, and that was blocked by Meehan. Imes reloading back at center. Imes for Maine, playing it off the boards, deep into the low zone. Dan O'Connell cranks it along the boards and all the way back down the ice. And that'll be an icing call and bring the faceoff back in the Chiefs' end. We played 1 minute and 32 seconds here of the first period, and we're scoreless. This
is a situation that you have to avoid. You see where Lowell loses the puck out high, trying to get out of their zone. Watch Maine in counterattack. Bang right at you over to Ingraham from Correa. Just so quickly they make that transition. When you almost get out and they come back at you, they just put your lights out.
Mays off the faceoff. Mays again in the corner, working it down the left side, but broken up by Saunders with a shot. Rolison knocked that one away. Centering pass. Here's Ferraro putting it through the crease. There's a drive by McIsaac, stopped by Rolison. Finally, Christian Zabroka clearing it ahead. Hebert gaining the line, but Hebert all tied up there by McIsaac. Ferraro breaking back out to center. Here's Peter Ferraro. Has Chris Ferraro with him. Peter Ferraro shot high off the glass. Chris Ferraro back on the point for Saunders. Saunders a shot. Save Rolison on the rebound. It just goes wide. Saunders now from the point. Had it taken away. And here comes UMass Lowell. Zabroka breaking across the line. Zabroka working right on in. Out in front and just failing to click over there with Hebert. Knocked back in again. Maine almost scored. Lowell almost scored.
What a move by Zabroka. I'll tell you, he just twisted Lee Saunders around in circles.
Saunders breaking this one up. Finally cleared out of there by Salfi, who rolls it down on goal. Rolison with the save for Lowell. Salfi goes to the corner. Salfi chased by Keith Carney back behind the net. And dumped all the way back down towards Dunham again. Another icing call will bring the faceoff back in the Lowell zone. 2 minutes and 50.
There's some banging going on early. Andy Silverman behind the goal line loses control of the puck, and there's a whack by Matt Martin right in front of that. I want to take a second, Bob, to the University of Mass Lowell kids asked me to send their best wishes out to Kerry Angus out in Winnipeg, whose his mother is ill, and he's attending to his mom out there. And the team wants to let Kerry know that they're thinking of him and wishing everybody, the whole family, their best. And I know that Kerry is thinking and watching this game tonight with great interest, as he's been an outstanding player for the Lowell Chiefs, and we want to send on the best wishes to the family.
Play at center ice with Montgomery knocking it free. Ingraham for Correa. Correa spinning in. Correa, the big spin there. Drops it back now for Murphy. Murphy for Imes. Imes a drive. He scores! Rolison hitting Ingraham out in front of the net. Lowell is protesting this one, but an open net, and the Maine Black Bears take advantage at 3:47. The hockey game 1-0.
No goal. I don't think there's going to be a goal. Let's see what happens here. I'm not sure. It looks like they're coming out for the center ice faceoff. They're going to call it a goal. Rolison is complaining that he was interfered with by Ingraham. I'm telling you, he's got no way to stop this shot. He's about 4 feet outside the net, and he's well to the right-hand side. It's a wide-open shot from the right point. Watch the play develop inside. Watch right here. Watch Rolison. See Ingraham. Ingraham's underneath the pile. Moves. And see Rolison whacked Ingraham off the top of the head. Ingraham just works Rolison from behind. You can see him gets knocked into him by the defense, and that's what the officials calling that Ingraham was knocked into the goaltender by the Lowell defenseman, and that was what knocked Rolison out of position to make the save, and therefore the goal is good.
Imes gets the goal, his 10th of the year at 3:44. Rolison is beside himself, but Maine has a 1-0 lead.
You can see on the replay, though, it was the momentum of the defensive play that knocked Ingraham into the goaltender and put him out of position to make the save.
So Rolison, figuring he has to be just about near perfect, play his game of his life tonight in order to give UMass Lowell a chance, sees his club go down 1-0 here at the 3:44 mark of the first period. Rolison is a dandy. and he is obviously a key to this hockey game.
Well, he can't make a save from where he was, though. He was well out of the net, and because of the contact with Ingraham, in no position to make a save.
Montgomery dumping in, and point being Rolison figures he's going to in for a tough enough night as it is. He doesn't need to have one like that wind up in the net. But it does, and Maine has a 1-0 lead. Here's Correa trying to work it back for Ingraham. Off now for Montgomery. Back on the point for Murphy. Murphy's shot kicked away by Rolison. Murray for Shane Henry. Henry breaking out to center with it. Imes fishing it away. Playing it up now for Correa. Correa across the line. Correa putting a move on Mays. Drops it back. Henry breaks that up. And back come the Chiefs. A 3-on-2. Henry across the line. Off for John Mahoney. Mahoney had it broken up by Imes. And here comes Ingraham. Ingraham back out to center. Here's Imes and Correa. Ahead to Correa. Correa in deep and just missed Imes out in front. Another shot goes wide. Eric Brown finally getting it back out to center ice. Long shift will end now for Correa, who heads to the bench. Imes goes back after it, cranks it off the boards. Chris Ferraro over to McIsaac. Back and forth action. Here comes Maine again, 3-on-2. Broken up by Meehan. You do not want to get into a 3-on-2 game with Maine.
Too fast. The pace of the game, it favors Maine totally. It's much too quick. It's an up and down game, and their forwards then determine the pace of the play, and they get the best forwards in the country.
Carlson knocking it in. Dunham leaving behind the net. Now Dave McIsaac. Off for Lee Saunders. Peter Ferraro to Chris Ferraro at center. Chris Ferraro knocked down. Puck goes back into the Maine zone. Dunham will stop behind the goal. 5.5 minutes into the hockey game. It's 1-0 Maine on a goal by Chris Imes at 3:44 here in the first period. Rolison leaving it for Travis Tucker. Tucker falling down, but breaking out to center with it is Jeff Daw, and he'll dump it back into the Black Bear end. Andy Silverman goes back for Maine. Off for Lee Saunders. Saunders had it knocked free by Daw, tied up at the side of the net there by Dunham, and we'll get a face-off.
Tomorrow at 1:30, the Bruins face off against the Detroit Red Wings. The Wings have been near the top of the Norris all season long. Want to know why? Check out Steve Yzerman. And at the other end, it's been Tim Chevelday keeping pucks out of the Detroit net. Now they've added high-scoring defenseman Paul Coffey as they prepare to take a run at the Cup. Join us tomorrow at 1:30, Detroit and Boston, live on NESN.
Daw. O'Connell goes to work in the corner. Martin on him, centering pass. Comes back for Aaron Chris from the point, kicked away by Dunham. Off for Martin Mercier, who gets it back out to center ice. There's a chance for Salfi. Salfi breaking in with Martin. Kent Salfi getting back into the lineup after missing some action. Locouture also back in tonight. Drops it back now for Matt Martin. Hit his skate with it, comes back to center.
Selfi missed 11 games with a groin injury, and Selfi was an outstanding player last year for them. Chris out of Cranbrook School from Seven Hills, Ohio. Not exactly a hockey hotbed. Has 3 goals and 4 assists, 7 points on the season. That's a pretty good shot from the point right here. Dunham so much in control of himself in the nets. Just watch him. Concentration on the shot, movement, and the save with the pad, and then deflects the shot to the left of the net.
Eric Fenton, Mike Latendresse, and Pat Tardif are out there now for Maine. Matched up against Hebert and company for Lowell. Ian Hebert, Jerry Daly, and Christian Zabroka off the faceoff. Daly trying to work his way free away from Murphy. Got all tied up. Murphy's going to get a hooking call. Murphy really had him tied up, and Maine will be shy of man. The time of the penalty will be 6 minutes and 40 seconds.
Well, I tell you, Maine and BU do a great job of that.
And then clear it all the way back down with a save there for goaltender Dwayne Rolison. Rolison has played them all for Lowell this year. 19 wins for Rolison, 16 losses, and 2 ties.
Played in every game.
Henry will dump it in. Saunders chasing back behind the net. Smallwood pinching in. Montgomery trying to work it free. Hebert tried to work it in front. They score! Shane Henry, I think, got it out in front, and it deflected in off of Murray. Murray from Henry at 7:33.
Shane Henry does a great job of working the puck from Watch right here. This is the play. Henry's behind the net, and Murray's going to come to the front, get himself in position. Watch the play develop. Murray in position. Henry works it to the inside, and Murray just deflects that Henry centering pass right through the legs of Dunham, and that's the tying goal. So important when you're playing the Maine Black Bears, Bob, to take advantage of your power play chances. Minimize your penalties and take advantage of the Maine penalties.
So Murray gets the goal. Shane Henry the assist. 7:33 the time of the power play goal. And it's a brand new hockey game here at the Garden as we're tied 1-1. Broken up by Chris Ferraro, but play is whistled out. Ian Hebert from Murphy and Korea at 3:44. So Imes from Murphy and Korea at 3:44. Henry from Pensa and Murray at 7:33. And we've got a 1-1 hockey game. Peter Ferraro. Dustin Tomberlin getting tied up by Stevens. Tomberlin trying to work it free. Off for Ferraro, put it right through the crease. Chris Ferraro right through the crease with brother Peter tied up at the other end. Jerry Daly takes a whack at it. Peter Ferraro, though, kept it in. David Mays goes back behind goaltender Dwayne Rolison as the Chiefs now will break out. Jerry Daly at center. Daly will dump it back into the main zone. Dunham for Martin, off now for Chris Ferraro. Sends it rink wide to twin brother Peter. Has Mercier with him as he breaks across the line. Peter Ferraro going in out in front. Knocked him in front of the net by Zabroka, played by Scott Meehan. And Meehan back out to center. Ferraro to Ferraro. Drive and a save by Rolison. Peter Ferraro with a big slap shot. And Dwayne Rolison had the angle, played perfectly and stuffed him.
I want to tell you, this is an excellent save by Rolison simply because of the problem that Mercier created coming down the middle. Watch this play develop. Watch right here. Watch Mercier come down the middle, and you'll see that Rolison has to focus his total concentration on Ferraro, recognizing that Mercier is coming right down the chute. Take the shooter. Don't worry about the other guy. You got to make the save on the initial shooter.
Murray goes after it. Murray now trying to get it out of there. Took a couple of whacks, finally fishes it back out to center. Bumped by LeCouture. Swept out by Shane Henry. Murray now gets it back out to center past Saunders, and back after it goes Salfine. We've passed the 9-minute mark of the first period. Maine and Lowell are tied 1-1 here in the semifinals of the Hockey East playoffs at the Boston Garden. Arden Mercier back out to center with it. He will dump it back into the UMass Lowell zone. Swinging back after it, Travis Tucker. Losing it to Eric Fenton. Stopped by Rolison at the side. Tardif goes for a spill. So does Tucker. Takes Fenton with them, and Lowell breaks out.
Rolison got away with a trip.
Picked off by Latendresse. He's all alone. He's stopped by Rolison. Rolison got the glove on the puck. And then Latendresse was knocked down by Mahoney back behind the cage. Action continuing hot and heavy here at the Garden. Play getting a little chippy there in the Chiefs zone.
Well, it was chippy in the Chiefs zone, and I'll tell you, Rolison got away with a trip right on Tardif in front of the net. And then I'll tell you, this is what Maine does so well. That's a trip by Rolison on Tardif. Tardif goes down. Now this is one of those almost out of the zones by Lowell. They work the puck out of the zone, but you see that Latendresse intercepts it. So dangerous, and Maine does that so well. Latendresse with the fake. Tardif interfering in front. Big pick in front, but Rolison comes up. Huge save there with the glove. You saw Tardif work his body to prevent the defender to get toward Latendresse.
By the play again. Ingraham's going to get a penalty. Here's O'Connell dumping it back into the main zone. Matt Martin will go back, and he touches the puck. We're going to have another Lowell power play. Tonight's broadcast comes your way from the historic Boston Garden.
Another day in the trenches got you down. Been kicked.
That deflected over the top of the goal. O'Connell and Smallwood will man the points for Bruce Crowder. Here's Murray moving it across. Drive by Henry. That was blocked by Murray, who clears the zone. Rolison leaving for Tim Smallwood. 1:45 to go in the penalty time to Cal Ingraham. Here come the UMass Lowell Chiefs with Smallwood moving it to Shane Henry. Henry dumping it across the main line. Murray comes up with it. Latendresse gets between the players and clears it back out to center. Now Latendresse spun around by O'Connell right out in front of the Lowell bench.
4 shorthanded goals. Latendresse, one of the tops in the country. Maine has 20. That's a school record.
Murray's shot stopped by Dunham and cleared by Imes. back after it, O'Connell. We've reached the 11-minute mark of the first period. Lowell and Maine are tied at 1. BU and New Hampshire to follow. 1993 Hockey East playoffs here at the Boston Garden. Lee Saunders. Not out. Saved by Dunham. Loose in front. Oh, a big check that time by Mercier. Mercier flattened Jeff Dow. Stevens has it knocked from his skates by Silverman down the ice. Cleared by Rolison. Broken up by Silverman. Tipped by Keith Carney. Carried in now by David Mays. Dave Stevens gaining the line. Off now to Jeff Dow. Dow a shot. Saved that time by goaltender Dunham. And back after it Mays with 25 seconds to go on a good Lowell power play. Montgomery battling Mays. Dow now for the Chiefs. Watched by Montgomery. Off for freshman John Mahoney. Mahoney moving it up the right side for Dow. Back for Mahoney. Taken away by Montgomery. Montgomery to Correa. And he's stopped by Rolison. And we'll get a face-off coming up to the left of Rolison. Almost mentioned there were a couple of freshmen operating on the Lowell power play.
This is where they absolutely kill you. They got away with it just before this as Mays handed the puck over to Montgomery, and Montgomery couldn't get the shot off. But in transition, coming out of the zone, you have to be so careful to protect the puck. Watch this one, sort of a lazy pass in the middle off Mahoney's skate. Now watch out. Here it comes back the other way. Montgomery to Correa. Little snapshot on that one-timer. Fortunately, rolls in the air, and Correa couldn't get much of it, but we've seen that about 3 or 4 times so far in this game, and that is exactly where Maine just capitalizes over and over again. And if you're going to beat them, you cannot do that over the course of the game. Now, they've missed 2 or 3 chances off those kinds of plays, but they aren't going to miss many more.
Breaking out is Eric Brown. Smallwood, or Ingraham rather, has returned. Ingraham comes back, and Maine is back at full strength. Broken up by Mahoney. Out comes Chris Imes, all Hockey East defenseman, for Matt Martin. Back now for Imes, is Maine having a little difficulty getting things out of its own end, but they'll break out with a pass to Ingraham. Quickly down the left wing for Matt Martin. Peter Ferraro trying to work his way in the clear. Back behind the goal. Peter Ferraro for Chris Imes. Imes a shot. Save again by Rolison, who will pop on the loose puck and hold on. And another faceoff coming up in that Lowell zone. 7:21 remains here in a wild first period. We're tied at 1. Effort. Salvi put himself offside. He backed across the blue line.
Not by much, though. I'll tell you, David Mays has to pay a little bit more attention to just where Salvi is, because he was not offside by very much, and that was a clever pass by Maine, trying to sneak behind the Lowell defense. Now, what Lowell is doing is trying to play a 1-3-1 offensively with their forecheck. You see, I'll tell you.
He was off.
Yeah, offside, but not by much. What they're playing is 1 forecheck, a 3 in the middle, and 1 guy back. And what Maine is trying to do is to make a pass behind the back guy.
David Pensa carrying across the line, knocks it to the corner, stopped there by goaltender Dunham. Mercier bumped and knocked down by Daw. Rolison for a skate with a clear, handed it to Salvi. Salvi almost got it across. Rolison picking it off. He almost found Mercier, who would have had a complete clear sail right to an empty net.
Well, this thing sees the Maine guys coming down and doesn't get much of a flipper out of the zone. Salvi has it, trying to feed over there to Mercier, and I tell you, Rolison freezes it at an appropriate time because Lacouture was right there. They were just in a lot of trouble in that situation, but Rolison had that situation foisted on him because their defense just didn't play what was clearly not an icing.
Salvi has returned from the injured list, as has Lacouture. They're also got Lee Saunders back for the game tonight. None of them available to him last week in the 2-game sweep over Northeastern. Off the faceoff. Scotty Meehan winding his way to center. Dave Stevens stopped over there by Dan Murphy. Cal Ingraham to clear, but not out. Saved there by Dunham. Controlled by Montgomery. Montgomery too far for Ingraham, and again Rolison out for a skate. Leaving it for Meehan. Knocked down by Ingraham. Back out to center ice for Imes. Murphy will pop it across the line. Rolison handles it. Instead, the other way, it's Mahoney. Mahoney working here against Lee Saunders. Saunders played it perfectly. Then broke it up. stays with his man. Peter Ferraro will clear off the boards and back down the ice, and after it goes Tim Smallwood. Smallwood scooting back for Lowell. For Peter Ferraro. Out to center ice. Martin will cover up there for Maine. We're approaching the 15-minute mark of the first period. Lowell and Maine are tied at 1. Chris Himes. Murphy for Eric Fenn. Stopped by Danny O'Connell, who's bumped off the puck there by Murphy. Daw going in deep. Murphy stays with him for Aaron Chris. Chris a shot. That was wide. Just missed O'Connell, who in turn is stopped by Dunham. Himes will play it off the boards. Not out, though. Mays cranks it. Dunham saves. Chris Ferraro clears. Picked up by Latendresse. Off for Eric Fenton. A shot. Armed away by Rolison. Pat Tardif takes a shot. That's stopped by Rolison, who holds on. And a face-off coming up again in the Maine zone. Maine has now outshot Lowell 15-9.
First series, Lowell intercepts the puck in center ice, turns it into a half-ice series, and gets some good scoring chances on Maine. Then, that time, all of a sudden, Maine's able to come out on the full-ice rush, and Maine gets a great shot on Rolison. Patrice Tardif has had a superb junior year out of St. Bartholomew, Quebec. 21 goals, 23 assists, 44 points. The more you can turn into a half-ice game, in terms of intercepting in center ice and going the other way, the better your chances against Maine. The more it's a full ice game, and their forwards get into the flow of up and down the ice, the more the momentum of the game turns to their advantage.
Face off to the right of Rolison. Lacouture, Mercier, and Salfi out there for Maine, along with Himes and Murphy playing the defense. Daly, Zabroka, Stevens up front with Meehan. And Keith Carney, the defensive pairing for Coach Crowder. This is Carney. Miss Zabroka with it all the way down the ice. That'll be an icing call to bring the face-off. Will go to the right of the Lowell cage. Play will wind up back at center as Silverman will flip it back in for the Black Bears. Rolison clears, and it winds up in the crowd. Later tonight,
the play.
Smallwood getting it to center. Smallwood getting it back again. Now back to center. Knocked in by Curry offside. And the faceoff will come back to the neutral zone. Missed 6 games. Carrying out Brown. Brown 2-on-1 with Daly. Brown moves it over to Daly. Stopped by Dunham and cleared by Murphy. Mays goes back after it. Off for Aaron Chris. Mark Carlson clears to center. Saunders broke that up. Played now by Murphy. Bothered by Brown. Covering up is Eric Fenton. And cleared back into the Lowell zone. Mays back out to center again. We've passed the 17-minute mark of a pretty good first period. Maine and Lowell tied at 1. Semifinals 1993 Hockey East playoffs. Chris will dribble it in. Knocked away by Dunham. Peter Ferraro back behind the net. Saunders battling Dahl along the boards. Pensa in there with Peter Ferraro. Ferraro has him tied up, but Ferraro winds up on his backside. Knocked away by Dunham. Chris Ferraro flipping out to center to Meehan. Meehan bumped by Tomberlin. Tomberlin now breaks across the line. Tomberlin was knocked down. Covering up is Scott Meehan, flipping it through traffic and down the ice. Chris Himes back to play it for the Maine Black Bears. Himes behind Dunham. Out comes Maine. Shadowed there by Shane Henry, who has him tied up.
He's run a trap on the puck carrier. The initial puck carrier, you see him double team him.
Look out, here's Chris Ferraro. Chris Ferraro is in. He's hit, and Rolison made the save. Keith Carney came back to bump him, and Rolison at the same time stopped the puck in the faceoff. Will come again in the Lowell zone.
They let that puck carrier come out from behind the goal line. Then they ran a trap on him over on the right boards and double-teamed him. But in the meantime, Martin gets the puck and dishes off a breakaway pass to Ferraro. The back defenseman's got to be very attentive and not allow this to happen. Carney lets Ferraro get behind him. Martin finds him with a pass, and Rolison smothers the shot. Carney comes up late. When they play that one-man forecheck, you've got the back man has got to be attentive. Here's Brown, tries to make the pass over to Daly. Gets it a little bit behind him in the skates. Daly gets a shot on, and Dunham smothers the shot right in the middle of the stance.
Rolison trying to get back in the goal again with Lacouture at the side of the net. Mahoney moving it ahead for Murray. Murray and Shane Henry at center. Henry breaking across the line, knocked down by Matt Martin. Chris Imes hit by Mike Murray. Matt Martin coming out now for Maine. Weaves his way out to center ice. Pass goes to Salfi. Salfi a move on Tucker. Salfi back for Mercier. Mercier's shot was blocked. Murray back out to center. And he will dump it back into the Maine zone.
Well, that was a pretty good play by Murray, protecting the puck and getting that puck into the zone when he was in some traffic.
Here's Christian Zabroka. Dave Stevens. Stevens a drive and a save by Dunham. Paul Correa. Correa across the line with Montgomery, a shot and a save again by goaltender Olesen. Less than a minute to play here in the period. Zabroka with a hit that time. Zabroka's going to go for charging. Zabroka charging, putting Montgomery up against.
That was a pretty good wrap by Zabroka.
19:11, I believe, the time of the penalty on Zabroka. Could be charging, could be boarding, but any event, he's gone for 2 minutes, and for the first time.
When they were scored on 23% of the time.
Dunham leaves for Martin. 37 seconds to play in the period.
They have 10 shorthanded goals, too, so they're dangerous in this situation.
Here comes Correa. Speaking of dangerous, Correa drops it back in front. Ingraham had it hop his stick. Keeping it in, Matt Martin a shot. That was blocked defensively. Correa out in front. Save on Fenton. Fenton's wide. Correa again with the puck. Paul Correa. Correa centering pass. Broken up in front by Meehan. Meehan trying to get it out of there. Finally, O'Connell rides it back out to center ice. Back after it goes Matt Martin.
Put a little big star next to Rolison's name for a couple there on Fenton.
And time will run out.
People on the first goal, Maine player is pushed into him and takes him down as Chris Imes shoots it in for a 1-0 lead. That lasted not quite 4 minutes.
Montgomery trying to work it free.
Saves in that first period. This one is late to keep the Chiefs in the ball game. Maine had 49 seconds of a power play at the end. Jump out to an early lead as Craig Conroy deflects a blast from the point past RPI's Neil Little. And that gives the Golden Knights a 1-0 lead. For Conroy, goal number 10 of the year, it is his 100th career point. And the score, 1-0 Clarkson at the end of the first period of play. And there will be one more out there tonight as well in the semifinal.
Every single time he has his stick on the puck.
Now leads the nation in scoring with 89 points on the season. Right now standing by downstairs is Dave Shea. David? By Dunham, and Dunham will hold on, and Montgomery is shouldered in there as he and O'Connell bump out in front of the net.
You got two tough kids right there. Montgomery coming to the front to try to protect his goaltender, and O'Connell dips a shoulder, knocks Montgomery away. Montgomery with the puck, poke check by O'Connell. The unfortunate thing from Lowell's perspective is O'Connell poke checks it wide, can't come back to the net, tries to fire it in. Montgomery, great hustle play to get back on Daub. But Smallwood, quick turnaround shot. You can see Dunham's concentration there as he gets right back up, picks up the situation, and makes another save. That was a superb goaltending play, and then Montgomery gets whacked by O'Connell. But that was a superb goaltending play by Dunham.
Buck will wind up there in the main bench and play whistled out. So we're a minute 20 into the second period. Still a 1-1 game.
You know, that puck out of the slot. Watch the shot here from Martin. Good block as Martin shoots that wide. Good, solid, in-zone, shorthand discipline by Lowell. They gave up that shot as that puck sort of trickled out to the point, but not much else.
Maine with 37 wins, just one loss, an overtime loss to BU on the 19th of February, and 2 ties on the year. Maine lost only 4 games all last year. Every one of them last year by 1 goal. Here's Maine again, dangerous. Save that time off of Fenton. He materialized him out of nowhere. Tardif back behind the goal. Aaron Chris is with him. Fenton banging along the boards, but coming out now. Stevens to center. Stevens will dump it back into the Black Bear zone. Zabroka taken down. Fenton almost picked Stevens' pocket. Stevens gets it back again, moves it to an open wing, played by Chris, tied up by Murphy. Zabroka back behind the net. And Dunham's going to hold on. We'll get a face-off coming up to his left. We passed the 2-minute mark of the second period. Maine and Lowell still tied at 1. Ice is hard and fast. Always good ice here at the Garden. as we'll get a face-off now coming up to the left of goaltender Dunham. A 1-1 hockey game. Maine ranked #1 in the country, just about wire to wire. BU and New Hampshire in our second game tonight. Wrapped back in by Carney. Martin moving it across. Andy Silverman back now for Matt Martin. Martin to center. In the skates that time is Salfi, who will play it across the line. Meehan. Broken up by Salfi. And Rolison will lead back behind the net now for Scott Meehan. Meehan having some difficulty coming out. Carney will cover up. Martin will keep it in. Ingraham going to work there with Mercier in the corner. LeCouture banging. Off for Pensa, hit by Mercier. Martin keeping it in, but finally Dahl works it back to center. 2-on-1, has Meehan with him. Dahl and Meehan. Fire, save, score! The rebound, Jeff Dahl. And Lowell takes the lead, 2-1.
Really pressing to keep the puck in the zone, and all of a sudden Daw pops it loose. But watch how Daw plays his 2-on-1. Gets wider. Isolate the defense. Watch right there. See, faked over to this defenseman. Got Silverman to cover Meehan. Got the shot here. Now instead of taking himself off the angle, watch what he does. Watch what he does. Stays right on the angle. Cashiers that rebound. Great play by Daw as he used that 2-on-1 brilliantly.
Here comes Correa, though. Correa trying to work into the clear, broken up by Mahoney, and back come the Lowell Chiefs. Scooting with it, Shane Henry. Chris Imes back behind goaltender Dunham. Loose in front of backhander by Murray was knocked away. Back out to center ice. Here comes Maine now. Imes across the line with Montgomery. Imes is in for Montgomery. Scores! Maine right back. Imes to Jim Montgomery. Montgomery scoring at 3:26. And we're tied again at 2. That comes just 34 seconds after Lowell had taken the lead.
But what you can't do here is you can't take the shooter. You've got to give the goalie the shooter. Now watch what happened right here. Watch. This is Tucker. He has got to stay in the middle, and if he takes anybody, he's got to take this guy. Give the goalie the shooter. Watch it. Imes down the ice. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. As soon as he goes, puck's over. You got no chance. No chance at all. Stay in the middle, deny the pass, and give the goalie the shooter.
25th goal of the year for Jim Montgomery. Brand new hockey game. Maine right back to tie the game 2-2. Rolison steering it over for Daly. So Dahl from O'Connell at 2:52, and then Montgomery from Imes at 3:26. Here's a chance for Peter Ferraro. Hopped his stick. Mays tries to knock it free. Comberlin finding Ferraro, a shot scooped up by Rolison with Peter Ferraro on the doorstep. And we'll get a face-off in the Lowell zone.
I'll tell you, we get two similar goals here. Two 2-on-1 chances. In the first one, the shooter takes the shot. The defenseman plays it pretty well. Doesn't allow the other man to get into the play, but the shooter stays on the play, and the rebound comes right back on his stick, and he puts the rebound in. At the other end, Imes, as soon as Tucker moves on him, dishes it off, and you see the goalie and the defenseman both focused on the puck carrier, and once that puck carrier dishes it off to the open man, there's no chance at all. The number one thing you have to do is deny the pass as long as you can and give the goalie the shooter.
Well, a 2-2 hockey game as we reach the 4-minute mark here of the second period. Maine and Lowell in the Hockey East semifinals at the Boston Garden. Saunders scooting back for Maine, chased there by Pensa. O'Connell was knocked down by Latendresse. Broken up by Keith Carney and played back into the Maine zone. Saunders swinging back behind Dunham. Saunders whips it up the right wing for Pat Tardif. Tardif a long pass for Mike Latendresse. Latendresse cutting in, bad angle shot, stopped that time by the goaltender Rolison. Wayne Rolison has played well. Maine out shooting Lowell. 17-11 first period. Latendresse is wide with that shot. Pensa dumping to center. Saunders, big Bruins B at center ice, plays it back in. Keith Carney back behind the goal. Carney flipping it out to center. O'Connell battling Matt Martin right below our play-by-play microphone. As LeCouture now will play it the other way. Back after it, Scotty Meehan. bumped by Mercier. Martin will glove and keep it in. Martin's shot is off the mark with Mercier right at the side. Back behind the net now for Saunders, tied up by Meehan. LeCouture trying to position himself in front, but instead Pensa will break out to center. Dave Pensa wide of the goal. Karam goes by Stevens, but it'll be kept in by O'Connell, who paid the price against Matt Martin. Zabroka tied up by Imes behind the net. Stevens trying to dig it free. LeCouture is with him. Finally, Martin comes in. Still trying to force the face-off is Zabroka. Imes will come out with it. Imes is finally knocked down off for LeCouture. Taken away, though, by Stevens. Stevens losing it and flicked out to center by the Black Bears, and back after it now goes Tim Smallwood. Smallwood circling, wide circle in his own zone. Pass too far for Daly. And that'll be an icing call and bring the face-off back in the Lowell end. 14:05. Shane Henry weaves his way across the line. Henry goes by Ingraham. Ingraham got a piece of him. Henry, though, got his shot. Murray gets the rebound. Saunders goes to the corner against Shane Henry. Henry somehow got a shot on goal. Ingraham, pass goes behind Correa, broken up by Smallwood. Smallwood again for the Chiefs, back out to center. Knocked down by Ingraham. Ingraham's offside. Montgomery trapped inside the line. 13:26 remains here, second period. Lowell staying right with the Black Bears. We're tied at 2. They had 3 net close games, but competitive games during the regular season. 6-3. Maine won at the Battelli Forum in Bellrica on December the 12th. And then on February 5th, Maine was a 7-4 winner at home. February 6th, Maine won at 4-2.
Well, the 4-2 game in the second night at Maine is usually the night you get tattooed. And for Lowell to come back and play their best game the second night was impressive.
Cumberland's shot was blocked. Daw moving it for Pensa. Pensa works here against Martin. Picked up by Peter Ferraro, who broke it up. Pensa back behind the net. Peter Ferraro taking it away. And in turn, Pensa finding O'Connell, who put it wide. Matt Martin in traffic. Justin Tomberlin back out to center, broken up by Pensa, who handed it to Martin. Martin weaves his way across the line, put it in the skates of Daw, who dumped it back to center.
O'Connell was just not in position to one-time that. Had to get the puck on his stick, and it was deflected.
Watch Peter Ferraro dropping it back. Chris Ferraro had it knocked away by Jeff Daw, who's played a great game here tonight. He scored the first Lowell goal, the second Lowell goal, to give him a lead here 2-1 in the second period. Chris Ferraro's backhander was smothered. Dan O'Connell picks up the loose puck, and here come the Chiefs again. O'Connell at center. O'Connell will gain the line with a shot, blocked that time by Silverman, and cleared by Tomberlin down the ice. Rolison up on the ledge. Finally, Eric Brown will bring it to center. Dan Murphy goes back to break it up. Hit the skates of Fenton. Eric Brown over for Scott Meehan. Picked off by Pat Tardif. Tardif was sandwiched at the line. Latendresse picks up the loose puck, though. He got spun around. And finally, John Mahoney. Into the main zone. Mike Dunham. Dunham handing it right over to Stevens. To Eric Brown, to Mahoney out in front. Latendresse whacking away from Carney. Centering pass was broken up by Fenton and dumped back out to center. We played 8.5 minutes of the second period. Maine and Lowell tied at 2 here at the Boston Garden. Salfi keeping it in. LeCouture finding Salfi. He stopped. Latendresse had his stick grabbed. And finally, Stevens to center. Stevens scoots across the line. Silverman back the other way. Nifty pass for Salfi. Salfi cut off by Scott Meehan.
I guess that was the nifty pass. That was almost a cross-ice backhand pass.
Got an offside call. We passed the 9-minute mark here at period 2. We're still tied at 2.
What time is it? Pennsylvania and RPI, Jim Salfi.
Pass Silverman. That'll wind up among the minor officials there in the penalty box. We'll get a stop at separate sites. Glove by Dunham, dropped there for Martin, back behind the goal. Now Matt Martin wearing that familiar number 3. Cal Ingraham Popping it in the air. Watch Correa, who's hooked by Henry. And Henry will go. And Maine has a power play. 9:31 here of the second period, the time of the penalty.
As they block up the middle, here comes a puck into the zone. Right here, Henry has got to be able to, here's Henry right here. He trips Correa. He's got to be able to stay with Correa all the way down the line. He got behind him in that situation, put the trip on him. In that situation, when you're playing a one-man forecheck, the wings pick up and cover on either side. The defenseman had no place to put the puck, so he flipped it up in the air, just trying to make something out of nothing. And he had the left wing, Correa, blowing down the left wing side. It's crucially important that Henry cover him, and when he got behind him, he knew the puck was going to be loose in the zone, and he just tripped him.
Well, here comes Maine on power play now. They've got the big unit out there. Martin carrying across the line. Correa, of course, leading the country in scoring. Ingraham leads the country in goals. They're both on the ice.
Ingraham also leads in power play goals.
Correa dropping it back for Matt Martin. Over now for Jim Montgomery. Montgomery back for Martin. Works it down for Correa behind the net. Eric Fenton for Correa, for Ingraham now in the corner. Back for Montgomery. Montgomery will take the shot. That's stuffed out in front by O'Connell. Montgomery got it back again, though, but taken away. Martin keeps it alive. Nope, I guess he doesn't.
Offside.
Eric Fenton scoots to the corner, back behind the net for Ingraham. Cal Ingraham tried to work it back in front, hit the net with it. Montgomery keeping it in. Rolison got bumped there as he went back behind the net, got caught up in traffic. Correa was rubbed out. Daly hit there by Fenton. 52 seconds left in the Maine power play. Past Martin. Montgomery tried to keep it in, but couldn't do so. Montgomery back after it. 40 seconds left in the power play. Montgomery carrying out to center. Off now for Correa. Correa got it caught up in a skate. Pensa not out. Martin keeping it in. Here's Ingraham. Scores! Cal Ingraham. All goes out, but not point. And Ingraham scores the power play goal.
For Ingraham, 22nd goal. Watch this. This is a flipper right here on the point. Martin, they try to flip it out of the zone from here. And you see Lowell coming out of the zone in these kinds of situations. And well over here on the left side, you're going to see what happens. Puck doesn't get out. Watch where Lowell's defense is. Look at him. Watch right here. Everybody over here. Nobody over here. They get the puck on transition back into Ingraham. Rolison goes down. Ingraham's going to have the shot. He just takes his time. Up and over. Great goal scorer. 22nd power play goal. 44th goal. He leads the country in both categories.
Matt Martin will get an assist. He's the one who stopped it at the point. Found Ingraham. 11:08. Time of the goal, and Maine leads it by a score of 3-2. Past Murphy. Back after it now goes Aaron Chris. Chris bumping in there. Lee Saunders. Saunders for Murphy. Dan Murphy now weaving his way in his own zone. Headmanning it to Chris Ferraro at center. Peter Ferraro. Pass back. Broken up. Forced back behind the net. Eric Brown goes in. Lends his shoulder to things. Aaron Chris along the boards past Saunders. That'll wind up hitting a Maine player on the bench. We'll get a stoppage with 8:11 to play. Fallen goaltender. Himes from the point with a shot. Rolison with a save. Chiefs now break out. Jeff Daw moving it to Pensa. Pensa flying in. He was knocked down by Himes. Crashing in O'Connell. Out comes Salfi. Pass to LeCouture at center. Broken up by Scott Meehan. O'Connell dropping it across the line. Chris Himes watched by David Pensa. LeCouture back out to center. Stopped by Keith Carney. Carney will play it back in. Paid the price as he was hit by Martin Mercier right below us. LeCouture to retrieve. Daw continues to play a strong hockey game. Silverman watched by O'Connell. Back out to center and down the ice. That'll be an icing call for here second period. It's a 3-2 lead for Maine. Off the draw. Boy, Dunham had to be busy there. The shot wasn't particularly hard when it got there. And Maine, one of the few times you've seen them lose an end zone faceoff.
Well, this takes a little ability, what Dunham does here. He makes a save, and on the way down, he's able to put the puck away. Now, watch right here. This is just superb goaltending. A deflected shot, change of pace, down and out, reach out with the stick, bring the puck back in, freeze it with the glove. Now, it's a little play, but it's why one goaltender is better than another.
Dunham 20 wins, just 1 loss this year, and 1 tie. Murray trying to work it back, but they score! Murray behind the net, worked it back out in front. I think it's Mahoney with the goal. Boy, Maine lost 1 end zone faceoff, lost the second, and it cost him. Mahoney from Murray, and it comes at 12:53.
Well, Maine plays great man-to-man defense, but I think what happens here is they just lose control. Watch what happens behind the net. You see, there's Mahoney coming in from the slot. They get 2 guys sort of half behind the net. Watch. 2 guys concentrating behind the net. Right there, Saunders, and you see number 11, Murphy, and no one picks up Mahoney. Fenton has his guy, but they get out of that man-to-man sink, leave Mahoney alone, and he puts the goal in.
Well, and a brand new hockey game again, 3-3 as we pass the 13-minute mark here of the second period. Mahoney stopped by Silverman, off for Correa, broken up by Mays, and sent back to Aaron Chris. Chris chased by Correa. Shane Henry will break out. Henry carries to center. Has Murray on his left, Mays on his right. Here's Murray following. Murray scores! Mike Murray puts Lowell in the lead. 12-26, 13-26. The time of the goal, and it's 4-3 Lowell. 2 goals in 33 seconds for the Chiefs.
Well, I'll tell you, Maine's got to regroup right here because this is what they usually do to teams. Bang, bang kinds of goals. Great feed from Henry to Murray. Murray is the superb goal scorer. Picks up the loose puck right by the dot underneath the pipe to the left of Dunham. Great goal by Murray, number 21 for him. We talked at the beginning of the game how important it was for Murray and Henry to do the job for the Lowell Chiefs, and that's the go-ahead goal. Michael Murray scores. He got the tying goal in that key second game against Providence. And who's called timeout here?
I think we're getting a goaltender change. Dunham has gone to the bench, and Gar Snow has come out in front of the Maine bench and starting to loosen up. We'll take a break while Maine takes its timeout. 6:34 remains second period. 4-3 Lowell. For the Lowell Chiefs. Dahl battling Imes. Imes circling in his own zone. Imes for Tomberlin. Tomberlin scoots it out to center. Gets the pass back again. Tomberlin across the line. Had it tipped wide. Rolison clearing along the boards. Imes pinching in against Dahl. Carney has his man tied up. Peter Ferraro flipped it in front. Daw covered up. O'Connell for Jeff Daw. Back out to center. Imes going back in. And Murphy. Murphy back out too far for Chris Ferraro at center. Broken up by Travis Tucker. Carried in by David Pensa. Pensa tried to work it in front. Peter Ferraro tipped that. Chris Ferraro clears. Justin Tomberlin now at center. Off for Chris Imes. Imes will dump it across the line. Tucker. Headmanning it out. This is Stevens gaining the line. Stevens finds Jerry Daly. Daly working his way towards the goal, and he's stopped by Snow. A little poke shot on the net, and Snow made his first save. Tucker. Played back across by Taylor. Daly broken up by Silverman.